Okay. Let us continue with Campfire Cooking in Another World. Chapter 1, Arrival at Carolina. We attached ourselves to Lambert's caravan and headed for the town of Carolina. According to Lambert, Carolina was about 2 days away. By the way, we had decided to hand over the thieves we'd tied up to the night brigade stationed in Carolina. The head of the gang of thieves was dead, but it wasn't a crime to defend yourself from attacking bandits, and it would even be a reward for reporting it properly to the night brigade. It seemed that there would also be a reward for turning over the living thieves to the knights. And I would be the one to receive those rewards because Val and Sui were the ones who defeat them. Lambert was insistent on it since he was happy enough to have been saved, and the members of Phoenix were of the opinion that I should claim the rewards since they were the ones who were unable to properly carry out their escort mission. Yeah, kinda can understand that. Since the income would be a windfall I would be greatly thankful for, I decided to gracefully accept their goodwill, although it was looking to be a real pain having to drag the thieves with us. At that time I overheard the adventurers talking in hushed voices. By the way, the members of Phoenix were all men with builds similar to Lars's. That's probably why they were loud enough to hear even though they intended to speak softly. I managed to catch everything perfectly. Hey, is it true that our leader said that thing is a Fenrir? I've heard rumors of that it's just a great wolf, though. I'm not sure either. Our leader did say that it was a Fenrir, though. Would a legendary beast ever become someone familiar? I've actually heard from Sandra that it's a great wolf. Sandra's the guild employee you've been getting along with, right? Yeah, look, the Adventurers Guild is famous for using a teleportation device to send letters, right? They exchange a lot of info that way, but the info on this is a little complicated. Like, there's ones that say it's a Fenrir, as well as ones that say it's a great wolf. So it looks like Sandra and most of the people around her say that there's no way it's a Fenrir, so it must be a great wolf. Really? Well, that's the normal way to think about it, because, I mean, who would think that a legendary beast like a Fenrir would ever become familiar to a human, you know? It makes sense that they would think it's a great wolf. Still, though, our leader declared that it was a Fenrir, right? He even went as far as to say not to oppose it in any way if we don't want to die. Well, we wouldn't be able to stand up to it either way, though. Even if it is only a great wolf, it's still an A-rank monster. That's right. Luckily, it looks like it's really as docile as that guy's familiar, so let's just let sleeping dogs lie. Right you are. So that's what the rumors are like. Now that I think about it, it was a mystery why information traveled so fast in this world with no phones. A teleportation device, huh? So they had such a thing. The Adventurers Guild is to be feared. Or rather, no matter how I think about it, isn't the Adventurers Guild responsible for spreading all these rumors about Fel? Well, I guess the organization would contain all sorts of people. Even so, it seems like even if Lars is convinced Fel is a Fenrir, the other members of his party aren't so sure, so it must be true that strength and experience is the difference in this case. Werner and the others from Iron Will were able to identify Fel as a Fenrir at first sight, and they were a C rank. Even the old man from the Adventurers Guild said that he had climbed to a decent rank before retiring, so that must be around C or B rank. Lars also said he was C ranked. The other members said that they were around D or E rank, and they looked to be in their early 20s. Thinking along those lines, people should start being able to identify Fel at around C rank. For the time being, I had no choice but to keep with the setting that Fel was a great wolf and refrain from answering clearly to people who could see through him. It seemed that those who could see through him were at least somewhat strong and understood just how powerful a beast of Fenrir was, so they probably wouldn't try poking the bear. Just like how Lars told the other members to not oppose him in any way if you don't want to die. So the most problematic people are the nobles and the countries in general, huh? I came to this country because it was said that this place was a relatively free country with no discrimination, so it would be nice if they didn't try anything strange. The sun set, and so we stopped the caravan. Let's stop here for the day. Preparations for camp started at Lambert's word. Hey, you better not have forgotten your promise from this afternoon. Huh? Did I promise something? You said that if I saved them, you would make something extra special for dinner. Ah, right. I had made that promise in the heat of the moment, so I had completely forgotten, but it seemed that Fel remembered. I got it, so what do you want to eat? Sui wants to eat karage. Oh, that thing you made before, right? That is a good idea. I also would like to eat karage. It looked like Fel was taken in by Sui's idea. I was only able to eat a little last time, so I was on board too. Now then, let's cook some karage. And you're probably going to end up feeding the rest of the people in that caravan, dude. So you better make plenty. I had promised to make something extravagant, so I decided to make two kinds with a normal base, soy sauce flavor, and a base salt flavor. As for the meat, I decided to use the black serpent meat as well as the rest of the cockatrice and rockbird meat I had. I was going to make a lot of soy sauce and salt karage. Master, can I eat it? Wait a bit. I piled the karage on a plate and put it in front of Fel and Sui. Ah, the flavor is different from before. This is good too. Oh, so Sui noticed. I'm happy Sui likes it. Fel was chowing down wordlessly. Him eating like that must be a sign that it's delicious. I mean, if he didn't like it, he would definitely tell you, essentially. Now then, let's keep frying. It looks like Lambert and the people he hired for his caravan, as well as the members of Phoenix, are all gathered around for some reason, though. They're even staring this way. Some of them are drooling, too. They told you they're gonna have to feed them all. This wordless pressure, it's, fine, I get it. If you'd like, help yourself. As soon as I proffered the plate with the karage on it, they all jumped on it like starving hyenas. Ah, man, sorry. Really, I wanted to ask for some. It's so good! It's delicious. It's the first time I've ever eaten something this tasty. Of course karage would be popular. Since that happened, I had to persist in frying up karage and nothing else. It was hard enough making Fel and Sui's portion, not to mention adding enough for the crowd that joined in. On top of that, there wasn't even a single piece of karage left for me, sadly. Oh, poor guy. There was nothing I could do about it, so I just quietly bought some of the sweet buns for my skill. Damn it. In return, I was relieved of having to keep watch during the night. Fel always put up a barrier, so I never had to do that, but I guess it would normally just be common sense, huh? It's a small thing compared to being saved, and feeding us something that good, but please sleep as much as you like. The members of Phoenix said that to me, so I decided to graciously take them up on their offer. You guys get this, it's just shitty rations, but consider yourself lucky you even got to eat. Also, don't even think about running away or I'll cut you down, Lars, who was on first watch, finally went to give the thieves a little food as well as some threats just as I was about to sleep. Man, adventurers really are ruthless. I mean, they have to be, considering the job they've got. Yeah, but really, they get what they deserve. Some time had passed since the tragedy at noon, so I decided to help scare the more rebellious ones. We're going to sleep, but our ears are sharp, you know, I said while looking at Fel. We'll fly awake at any time. You'll be in fine slices before Lars even has a chance to act. The thieves shivered in fear at my words. Oh, also, I'd stay quiet if you don't want to die like your boss. It looked like my threats worked, so things should have been fine. Should have been fine, which indicates it is not fine. Unable to bring out my futon to sleep in, I was made to endure curling up on my mantle for the first time in a while. Sui, who had grown fond of the futon, grumbled a little. When I told Sui that it would only be until we reached town, it bravely said, Sui will endure it. Ah, Sui is so cute. I swore in my heart to make Sui something Sui would like tomorrow. Welcome to the town of Carolina, Lambert said to me as we passed the gates. I had thought as much looking from the outside, but the town of Carolina was pretty large. When I asked Lambert bragged about it being the 5th largest city in the kingdom of Landhart. Apparently, Lambert's family had been merchants in Carolina for generations, and Lambert himself pressed upon me that he loved this town that he was born and raised in. It had taken almost 2 hours to get into town, but once we got past the line, we were let in fairly easily. That was probably thanks to Lambert, whose business was an old fixture of Carolina. He even explained about Fel to the guards at the gate. Now then, why don't we go ahead to the Night Brigade's office? Since Lambert's and the Phoenix members' testimonies would be necessary when handing off the thieves to the Knights Brigade, we all decided to go there together. The night station was close to the gate. After handing over the thieves, the members of Phoenix, Lambert, and I were all subjected to about an hour of questioning. We've heard all your stories, and there doesn't seem to be a problem here. The thieves you caught seem to be members of a group called Black Dog that have been a problem lately. Their head, who you've killed, Zakar, seems to have been quite evil even before he came a thief, so his head comes with a 30 gold reward. With that added in all, your reward for bringing them in comes to 45 gold. The man introduced to us as the night captain, who was a brown-haired man in his early 40s, wearing full-plate armor, notified us of this as he handed over a jute bag with the reward in it. So this is a world where even human lives can become money even though they were thieves. It was their own fault for stooping down to the level of thievery, but the aftertaste of this was kind of bitter. After that, Lambert went back to his shop, and I decided to accompany the adventurers of Phoenix, who were going to the guild to report their success. I had wanted to go to the Adventurers Guild first, in order to get some meat after all. Okay then, Lambert, I'll make sure to visit your store at a later date. Yes, I'll be waiting. It seemed that Lambert's store dealt in leather goods such as bags, wallets, belts, and scabbards for knives, so I decided to visit later since it sounded interesting. That being said, it was also because my bag, which had become Sui's spot, was getting quite dirty and worn down. Well, I did get it for free. If someone had said that this was a matter of course for something received secondhand, I wouldn't have been able to argue. That was why I was considering using this chance to get a new, more durable bag. Well, I'll still be deciding after I look through the goods, though. Also, we'll see if Sui likes any of them. I arrived at the Carolina Adventurers Guild along with the members of Phoenix. It was quite dark out by the time we had arrived, so the service counter wasn't that crowded. I got in the line next to the one the members of Phoenix were in. My line ended up being a bit faster than theirs. Excuse me, I'd like to make a transaction. Saying that, I handed over my guild card. Understood, a transaction, is it? The receptionist girl took my card as she spoke. After checking something on hand, the receptionist's face clouded up. It seems your registration has been revoked, Sir Makoto. You seem to be a G rank. Did you not take any quests within the month? About that, we have been, traveling, essentially. That's right. If I don't take a request within the time limit, my registration would be revoked. Man, I was so busy I'd forgotten. Really, there's an explanation for this. The time limit is the shortest for G rank, so people like you pop up every so often. Hearing her explanation, it seemed that the accepted convention was for G ranks to accept quests like madmen until they got to F rank first and foremost. Doing that would up the time limit to 3 months and also open up much more profitable requests, it seemed. Was that the case? I hadn't heard anything about that. Well, I'm the most at fault here for forgetting the time. Will there not be a problem if I just pay the registration fee again? I needed help butchering monsters, so keeping up my registration with the Adventurers Guild was something I had to do. Yes, it should be fine as long as you pay the registration fee of 5 silver. Sir Makoto, you are currently the lowest rank G, so there should be no problems with you using your current guild card. And is there no problem with my familiars that have already registered? I asked while glancing at Fel behind me. The receptionist was a little surprised when she noticed Fel, but managed to reply, there is no problem. If that was the case, then I'll have no problem paying the 5 silver. I paid up and had them re-register me. Also, I have a new familiar, so I'd like to register it as well. A new familiar? Yes, here. I picked up Sui from my bag and showed it to the receptionist. A slime? The receptionist looked bewildered. You know you shouldn't be making fun of Sui here. Unlike other slimes, it's ridiculously strong. It's special and really strong, you know. I bragged to her, but it looked like the receptionist didn't believe me and only replied with a spiritless, so only those who've seen Sui in action can understand its strength. Well, obviously, because, they probably think slimes are the lowest of the low when it comes to fighting them, you know, so of course, they're gonna think that. After registering Sui, we started talking business. As for the purchasing, I'd like to have you take care of several orcs and other monsters. If that's the case, please head over to the next window. Of course, the sale of large monsters would have its own window, of course. Makoto, are you done? It was Lars, the leader of the Phoenixes. Yes, I forgot about the deadline for requests, so I had to re-register. Considering you had to travel from, I think it was the Kingdom of Vernon or whatever to Leonhardt, and that took a while, so of course you're not going to be able to not be able to have any new quests between that time. Truthfully, though, it's not like I plan to be an adventurer as my real job, so I'm not really that enthusiastic about requests and stuff. Really? Yeah, as you can tell, my familiars are big eaters. Fel hunts his own meat, so it's not that big a problem, but butchering the monsters he catches is... I see, the Adventurers Guild is best for butchering monsters. Well, you could ask underground butchers or meat shops, but they aren't really all that trustworthy. You always run the risk of being ripped off by underground butchers, and they sometimes treat the materials really roughly, and meat shops will butcher meat really well, but treat all the other materials like hide like trash. After all, to us, there are times when the other materials are worth more than the meat. Thinking that way, the butchers at the guild with their large amounts of experience and pride as pros are really the best. Is that how it is? So I could have asked underground butchers or meat shops, but then you would have gotten a chance of getting ripped off. Well, I wouldn't now after hearing that. Leaving aside the stuff about registering, I was right to rely on the Adventurers Guild. So, Makoto, you'll be selling monsters then? Yeah, I don't have any meat left, you see. Is that because we ate it? That was one reason, but I decided to stay quiet about that. No, I was already about to run out anyway. You hunted them, right? I'm curious to see what monsters they are. Can I take a look? Lars said while looking over to Fel. I didn't really mind if it was Lars and his team. Sure. We moved over to the next window. I'd like to make a sale. Sure, let me see what you got. Just like the guild at Faliers, the butcher here was a grim-looking bald old man that looked like he used to be an adventurer. Oh, do you know Lars and his team? Lars, his team, and the bald old man lightly exchanged greetings. It seemed that the bald old man was at least acquaintances with Lars and the others. There's a lot. I was led to the storehouse when I said that. There should be no problem here. Take them out. At his prompt, I took out 5 orc generals first. Isn't this an orc general? And 5 of them? Long story about that. I I had thought about bringing out the Orc King as well, but from his surprise, that would probably be a bad idea. I'll seal the Orc King in my storage for a while. These as well, please. I took out 3 rock birds. I definitely wanted stocks of rock bird meat, which was delicious and very much like chicken. Rock birds too? Both the Baldo man and the members of Phoenix looked really surprised. I'm sorry to interrupt your surprise, but there's more. There's still not enough meat with just this. Both Fel and Stewie are big eaters. Also a giant dodo and giant deer. What's with the blank faces? There's still more. Also a murder grizzly, black serpent, and red serpent. This is the last of it. I didn't really need to take out the ogres now since they can't be eaten anyway. And just from the name and look of it, the metal lizard didn't seem edible either. As for the chimera and the orthrus, taking them out seemed like it would cause a huge ruckus, so these are sealed for eternity. At least I'm assuming for the moment. Until he gets to the point where he's well known. Red serpent, stunned into wordlessness, the Baldo guy promptly recovered before inspecting the red serpent and said those words. Huh? Should I not have taken that out? Where did you even hunt this? I shrank a little in fear of the sharp look the old man was giving me. I'm not the one who hunted it, I said, looking over at Fel, who was sprawled on the floor yawning behind me. Ah, I see. It would be possible for a Fenrir. It looked like this old man also knew that Fel was a Fenrir. That's right, Gramps. A Fenrir would be able to kill something like a red serpent easy. Something even higher ranked probably wouldn't give it any trouble. I winced at Lars's words. Sorry, I've also got a chimera and an orthrus. It's just as Lars said, I wouldn't be surprised at something like this. Or I shouldn't be surprised at something like this. Really, I'm so sorry. I'll seal the chimera and orthrus in my storage forever, so forgive me. You'll never get a chance to see this many monsters all in one place normally. This is the first time I've ever seen ever even seen a red serpent. If you're saying that, this is the first time I've seen a black serpent too. Really, this is just amazing. I'm also surprised that you have a big enough item box to fit all these inside, Makoto. So reacted the revived Lars and other members of Phoenix. Truly, it's an amazing size if it fits all this. There's still more in there. Yeah, there aren't that many item box users with one this large. Man, I'm jealous. I want a large item box. Makoto, want to join our party? So said the members of Phoenix, now that the topic had switched to my item box. This is bad. I shouldn't have just taken all this out at once in my need of meat. Fel bared his teeth and let out an intimidating growl at the members of Phoenix, excluding Lars. They promptly froze up. I could almost hear them turning to ice. Shut up. Lars promptly turned around and yelled at his team. Sorry, Makoto, forgive them. Can you stop from growling at them? Or stop him from growling at them? Yeah, Fel, it's fine. Stop that. Fel stopped right after I told him to. You guys went too far, you know that, right? Yes. The other members of Phoenix all nodded like bobbleheads with their faces a deep blue. Sorry, everyone, but please don't pry into my item box. Fel knew about my item box and stuff and why I wanted to hide it. Probably I felt bad for the guys in Phoenix, but Fel did well here. Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but I need you for a bit over here. With this much to do, I'll need more than just a bit of time, you know. Let's see, it should be fine if you give me all of tomorrow and come back the day after. The old man gave me his predictions with a bitter smile. The day after tomorrow, huh? But I'm already out of meat. I'd like at least one monster's worth of meat. I needed to at least secure enough for tonight's dinner and all of tomorrow. Could you butcher just one right now? Just one? Yeah, more precisely, I need its meat. I want all the meat from the monsters I just showed you. I'll sell everything else, but I need meat no matter what. I gave a furtive glance at Fel. Ah, I see. Understood. I'll go and butcher one right now for you. Which one would you like? Thank God. What would be good? Aha! I'll make that for dinner. If that's the case, the rockbird, please. Got it. The old man dismantled the rockbird with practiced ease. Apparently the innards really were just scrap, though. Thinking it a bit of waste, I asked about whether or not the innards were edible and got a weird look in return. It didn't seem like there were any innards eating culture here. Innards eating culture here. It was a bit sad, but there was no helping it, I guess. Ah, red serpents are edible, right? The red serpent was the only one here that I was seeing for the first time, so I felt like I should ask just in case. The black serpent was edible, though, so it should be safe, I thought. Yeah, it's edible. It's a high-class delicacy. Something like peasants like us wouldn't be able to eat in a lifetime. Huh? That expensive? I wonder how it tastes. The black serpent was good too, so my hopes were high. Makoto, I was wondering, but what kind of meat did you feed us before? Lars asked, making an awkward face. Black serpent, cockatrice, and rockbird. Oh, also giant deer and murder grizzly. After I said that, the members of Phoenix, including Lars, all dropped their mouths wide open. You said that you only wanted the meat, so I suspected... Sorry. Sorry. Lars and the other Phoenix members all bowed deeply. What? Stand up already, please. What happened? We just kept throwing it in our mouths without even knowing how expensive the meat was. The other members all nodded emphatically at Lars's words. We ended up eating so much meat that we otherwise might never have tasted our whole lives. No wonder it was so good. Yeah, each piece was delicious. They nodded silently, probably remembering the taste. Sorry to rain on your parade, but Fel caught all of that, so it was basically free. I had heard that they were high-class delicacies, but we were eating it pretty regularly, so there wasn't really a sense of awe or thankfulness to it. And the only things I ever spent money on were spices, seasonings, and the like, so my wallet was basically untouched. We're really sorry, Makoto. If you need something, just tell us. If it's possible, we'll do anything you ask. But don't worry about it. I already had you bring the thieves into town for me. No, we ate such valuable ingredients. No. You've already brought the thieves into town for me. Oh, wait, leave your conversation there. I finished. Nice timing, old man. I received the rockbird meat. Okay, then. I'll be coming back the day after tomorrow, so please take care of me then. Sure. The members of Phoenix and I left the Adventurers Guild behind us. This town's guild is nice. Most times when I come in a place with Fel, there'll be a fuss and people will stare, but there was none of that here. I said that to change the subject as we walked. They replied because our leader was there. Our leader is a pretty famous adventurer in this town. There will be no one dumb enough to mess with his friends. Huh. Is that so? I might have lucked out by getting to know him. Just as these guys said, I'm a little famous around here. I probably said this already, but come to me if you have any problems. Thank you very much. It's really reassuring that you've said that, Lars. Well, starting tomorrow, we've got another escort request to the next town, so we won't be around for about 2 weeks or so. Ah, I see. Well, I don't think I'll get in trouble that quickly. Thanks to this guy's selfishness, yeah. Right. Sandra, shut up. So he's going to see Sandra, the guild employee. Normie should just explode. We'll be gone for 2 weeks, but we'll be here after that. So if you just leave a message at the Adventurers Guild, we'll come running. Just give a shout if something's up. If it was going that far, I could only be thankful. It seemed that Lars had a very strong sense of obligation. Ah, I'd forgotten something important. By the way, do you guys know anywhere I can stay with my familiars? If that's what you want, just go straight along this road and you'll find a place named the Griffin's Nest. I recommend that place. Oh, then I'll go there. See you guys. We parted with the members of Phoenix and headed toward the Griffin's Nest. I'll finally be able to sleep in a bed for the first time in a while. Chapter 2, Putting in Effort as an Adventurer. I decided to stay at the inn that was recommended to me, the Griffin's Nest. The name called forth some complicated feelings since I had just passed straight through their territory, but, well, it's just a name. It was 8 silver a night for those staying with familiars. There was a shed in the back for familiars just like before, so I had Fel head there. As for me, I went to my room for the moment to prepare for dinner, that is, to buy the ingredients for tonight's menu with my online supermarket. Normally, I'd need about an hour to marinate the rockbird meat for the main course, but I could probably cut that down with a little prep work to make it easier for the flavors to sink in. In the meantime, let's spread out my futon on the bed, and great. It's about time. If I don't head over to Fel soon, he'll probably force his way in here. I took my bag in which Stewie had been sleeping this entire time with me to where Fel was waiting. Sorry to keep you waiting, Fel. You are late. I am so hungry I'm not sure what to do with myself. Sorry, but it might take a little longer. What? Please don't make that pathetic face at me like he'll start wailing any second now. I felt a little sorry for him, so I went ahead and bought 10 packs of Menchi Katsu for him. Food? Stewie woke up too. I'll get another 5 for it. You two eat those for now and wait. Now then, first is the broccoli for the garnish. Slice the broccoli into appropriately sized sized pieces and run them under water. Then boil in water with a little salt added in. Once the broccoli is finished boiling, take it out and let it cool. If you cool it in the water, it'll turn soggy, so I'd recommend against it. If asked why I chose broccoli, I could only answer that it was because I like broccoli. Broccoli goes well with mayonnaise. Ew. I've always used broccoli to accompany this dish I'm making. As for the main dish, I'm thinking tandoori chicken. Inside a vinyl bag prepared earlier in my room, marinate the meat in a mix of plain yogurt, grated garlic, and ginger, both from tubes, as well as salt and pepper. Add in powdered curry and mix. Then cut the rockbird meat into appropriately sized pieces and poke with a fork to open holes in them before putting the meat in the bag and massaging. Leave it to marinate for a while and the meat will be ready. Heat a pan with olive oil before putting the meat in and frying starting from the skin side. Once both sides are browned, the meat is done. Stack the tandoori chicken on a plate with the accompanying broccoli and a lot of mayo, and the dish is complete. Ew. Who mixes broccoli with mayo? How is that any good? It's done. Val and Sui both rushed over and started eating as if they'd been waiting their whole lives. This is a strange taste, but it's still delicious. Yeah, Sui likes this too. Curry flavor with its abundant spices might be an unknown flavor here, but still I figured it would go over well. I bit into my share of the tandoori chicken. Ah, delish. Eating this made me want to eat curry. There really were times when you just really craved it. For my part, it wouldn't even have to be the fanciest type. I preferred homemade style curry. In my case, I like to use 2 different kinds of curry mix, or curry roe. One will be half a portion of my usual roe, and the other half will be some new store-bought roe. I always felt like doing it that way made the taste fuller, more varied. It was just a little habit of mine. Thinking about curry only made me crave it more. I guess I'll have to make curry with a larger portion of meat. Fel and Sui both ate a surprisingly wide variety of stuff, so it would probably be fine, and I could always just cook some steaks if they start complaining. Master, more. Me as well. Sure. I cooked up another serving of tandoori chicken. I always enjoyed the taste of curry after a long while as I cooked it. Of course, even the boiled broccoli and mayonnaise on their own were tasty. Ugh. Somebody tell me if broccoli and mayo taste good together? Because that just seems weird. Next time would be a real curry rice. After returning to my room and putting Sui to sleep, I started thinking of the future. First, I wanted to do something about my adventurer rank. I'll definitely need their butchering services in order to obtain meat, so just withdrawing it is not an option. Still, as a G rank, my deadline for taking a quest or the revocation of my registration was only a month. I'd only felt this while traveling, but on the road a month tends to pass by in a flash, so I was thinking of raising my rank while I was staying in town. I'd finally arrived at the stable country of Landheart, so I'd like to go around and see the sights, but it wasn't like I was in any particular hurry. If I made F rank, I'd have 3 months to play around with, so I should have enough leeway for travel. In other words, I was planning to stay here until I reached F rank. One could call it luck, but thanks to making the acquaintance of Lambert and Phoenix, I'd gotten quite a few people I could rely on here. Odd only, since I never actually intended adventuring to be my main job, even if I planned to raise my rank, I didn't really have any idea what the best way to go about that would be. That was why I was going to go to the guild tomorrow and ask about it. The number of requests taken definitely had an effect on ranking up, so I was planning on taking a request as well. I guess there's no other way than to just work up steadily bit by gathering herbs. What am I doing, me? It's not like I really want to become an adventurer. Oh, shit. I'd almost forgotten again. That thing, the tribute to that disappointment of a goddess. I was about to be complained again. So let's just get it over with quickly and go to sleep. Open the online supermarket. I wondered what would be good. Last time I went with a smorgasbord of Western confections, so this time Japanese sweets would be good. First up is red bean daifuku, strawberry daifuku, and manju, I think. Oh, they have manju with a whole chestnut inside. Let's get that too. I should also get the skewered dango with the sauce, red beans, and sesame seeds. After that is castella and some dorayaki again, since the theme this time is Eastern sweets. I've offered dorayaki before already, but knowing that goddess, she won't complain. And an entire block of Yukon just to clinch the deal. Right, this should be enough. I paid for the stuff I was going to offer as tribute to that disappointing goddess and placed the goods on my cardboard altar. O great goddess of the wind, Ninrir, please accept these humble offerings of mine. I am grateful for the divine blessing you have bestowed upon me. Please continue to watch over me in the future. While offering my prayer, the goddess's voice appeared in my head. Ooh, I've been waiting. If you were any later, I was thinking of sending an oracle to warn you. Hey, didn't I offer quite a lot before? Are they really already gone? You'll get fat if all you eat is sweets, you know. I have no idea if gods can actually get fat, though. A god such as I would never get fat. I am forever beautiful. Huh? What are you stuttering for? Shut up. It's not like I ended up finishing the sweets in 3 days because they were too delicious. That's exactly what happened. Goddess, you really are a disappointing person. God, aren't you? You're basically telling the world yourself. That can't be good. You've been saying that there's no way you'll get fat or that you're beautiful, but there's no way I can trust you on that. From your stuttering, I can tell that even gods probably get fat if they eat too much. More than that, eating all that food in 3 days will definitely make you fat no matter what. This topic is over. More importantly, what are you offering this time? Yeah, I'm glad I'm only hearing her voice. It's just sweets. How excited can you get? If the goddess were here in person, she'd definitely be tripping over herself to get right up to me to ask. What did you just say? Just sweets? You fool. Sweetness reigns supreme. Sure, you don't have to get that mad. Wait, I noticed this before, but you're totally just reading my thoughts, aren't you? Stop that. This is definitely an invasion of privacy. Huh, what invasion of privacy? I am a god. There is no such thing as privacy in the face of a god. If I wanted, I could view your life from beginning to end. Even understanding your thoughts is as easy as picking something up off the ground. I am a god, after all. Am I not great? You should worship me. That's so. It might be awesome, but hearing it out of your own mouth is... You really are a disappointing goddess. I'd really appreciate it if you keep yourself out of my thoughts as much as you can, and please refrain from watching the entirety of my life. It's not like my life is particularly interesting. Not to mention worship? Please don't ask the impossible. Please look back at your own actions and figure out why. Oh, great, sweet, loving, disappointing goddess. I am not disappointing. Sure, you're right. This is going to get annoying, so let's change the topic. I'm offering Japanese sweets this time. Sweets originating from my home country. Just as you have it requested, I'm offering lots of confections with the black and sweet anko like red bean buns and dorayaki. What? Sweets with that anko? I can't resist that tender sweetness that isn't too heavy. As expected of the disappointing goddess, how easy. Just as you can see, I have also once again prepared dorayaki. Ooh, dorayaki, you've done well. It seemed that she'd really taken a liking to dorayaki. Well then, please accept the offering. I understand. Let's hurry up and get these to the divine realm. The sweets that were placed on the cardboard altar were wrapped in a faint light and disappeared. So that was how it got transported. I hadn't looked too closely until now. There's a lot this time. You've done a fine job. Again, what's this even mean? Truly, she's a disappointment of a goddess. I'm gonna eat the dorayaki right now. This dorayaki is just a delicious... Okay! We don't need to hear. What? Now it's... Sorry, let's stop with the comic reactions to everything she does. I mean, she's a disappointing goddess. Now then, let's ignore that disappointing goddess and go to sleep already. I couldn't stay up forever keeping her company, so I hastily joined Sui in bed. Sui really was my only source of healing in this world.